welcome to another episode of Premiere Thursday. Thank you very much for joining me to this journey of several different topics of Premiere videos, and all these are produced in cooperation with the Premiere Thursday Collective. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Once again, I would like to remind you to check the links in the description box below. There you can actually find all kinds of fun links, such as Patreon. I would like to have a shout out to my patron, Flems. You'll find all kinds of interesting stuff there. Go check the link. There's also a PayPal link there also for more one-time donation if you do not wish to go and pledge for a monthly donation on Patreon. However, there are plenty of fun things you can find on Patreon in the different tiers, so please go check it out. Check also the links, the other links. There are playlist links to my previous content and the current content that I produce. Culture Corner on Monday. I've got History with Haiti on Fridays, and I've got Premiere Thursday content almost every Thursday coming up. So please check the links. There's my email address, of course, and the links to my Discord servers, my channel Discord server, Heidi's Corner, and then LGBT plus safe space server, which both are absolutely amazing. My moderators, admins, other members, absolutely fantastic. Just go check it out. It's really worth your while to go there and check it out. But now, please thumbs up, thumbs down, and subscribe and tickle the notification bell so you can get notifications for my future content. Let's carry on. So once again, when starting a new episode, I would like to introduce you to my always so lovely co-hosts. They are, of course, Stefan there, and this little furball who has been on my channel in his own videos, however, in short versions of those, but he is, of course, Bertil. Because you will find all kinds of silly stuff, a few pictures of Bertil on my Patreon. Check the links below. This week I decided to do something a bit different, something that I haven't done on my channel before, and that is a letter from a viewer. This message is from a dear viewer who chooses to call himself Jens, and Jens starts off like this. Hi Heidi, I'll start with a bit of a backstory. After my parents divorced, my mom and I moved around a few times. In 1967, we moved to Frankfurt, where a gay couple lived in the same building. They were very nice guys and treated me like a nephew. Well, look, Jens, as both of us know, gay guys and LGBT plus in general, you're not that bad, but back in 1967 in Frankfurt and elsewhere elsewhere as well. We, not we, you and I and my viewers, but the society in general and most people of the time thought that gay people and LGBTQ plus people, of which they knew probably about some facts and dykes and so on, and some transvestites they may have heard from somewhere that some people choose to um, dress in the clothing of the opposite binary sex, which was somewhat of a no-no at the time. But it seems as if your mother would have been okay with this. Uh, that this gay couple would have embraced you as a namesake nephew, if you will, giving you the sense of safety and security in the environment that you were growing up at the time. And it wasn't something, and I'm sure it wasn't something that should be taken for granted. At the that you and your mother would have been even socializing with these people, whom of whom the surrounding society didn't think much of. So that's a wonderful thing to have happened to you and your mother at that time, because you found these people living in the very same building. So let's get a bit further with the letter from Jens, shall we? Jens goes on to write that when growing up, I was mostly attracted to girls, but also a few boys. Quite confusing at the time, but that was due to lack of knowledge and information. That would be more than understandable, Jens, given the time scale, being in the 70s, perhaps sometime in the mid 70s, I would assume. Early to mid 70s, I would assume. Anyway, Jens writes, decades later, I found out about bisexuality and the Kinsey Scale, and felt right at home in the whole LGBTQ plus community. And now let's go and check the Kinsey Institute website, where we'll find the Kinsey Scale measure and many more curious things. And of course, links will be in the description box down below. So what exactly is the Kinsey Scale? Okay, now I am going to skim through the quick version here, but we need to have a look first at who was Dr. Alfred Kinsey, and what is the Kinsey Institute. Their website, which you can see here now, is a very interesting one. There's plenty of research here. What they define themselves is, here it goes: diversity and inclusion. As a research institute devoted to study of human sexuality, the Kinsey Institute continues to explore the complexities of sexual and gender diversity and variation in sexual and relationship experience. Okay, and they have plenty of topics here: age and sexuality, BDSM, the body, condom use, hormones, masturbation, etc., down to transgender sexual orientation and transgender issues. not an issue really, but hey, you get the point. But the Kinsey scale, as mentioned a bit earlier, just shortly before this in the video, let's go and have a check. Let's have a read what the Kinsey scale is. Okay, this is, I will provide these links in the description box below, of course, as usual, as I usually provide the links to my, should I ever forget any of those, too bad, let me know. Okay, so doctors Alfred Kinsey, Worrell Pomeroy, and Clyde Martin developed the heterosexual homosexual rating scale, more commonly known as the Kinsey scale. First published in a magazine or a study of sexual behavior in the human male in 1948, the scale accounted for research findings that showed people did not fit into exclusive heterosexual or homosexual categories. And here you can see they have they came up with a scale of 0 to 6, with a 0, which you can see here on the screen. This would go as follows: 0 is exclusively heterosexual, and the 6 exclusively homosexual, and there is number 3, which is equally heterosexual and homosexual, which is quite unlikely to have in my opinion. In this world, in this day and age, is just bullshitting yourself to say that you're clean cut 50-50. I don't buy it. Okay, so call me cancel culture, whatever. I don't care, because that's what I think. It's rare. I don't think anyone is 100% 50-50, like exclusive 100%. 0 and exclusive 50-50, and exclusively 6. I don't think that exists, but here it goes. There's a so-called Kinsey, well, there isn't a Kinsey test, but there are certain questionnaires that have some novelty to put you somewhere on the spectrum. Okay, so but there are of course other tests, and there's the Klein sexual orientation grid and the Stone scale. Klein grid is by Dr. Fritz Klein, and Stone scale developed by Michael D. Storms. So there are 3, or these are just 3 out of well over 200 had to measure sexual orientation, but Kinsey is in my opinion, the most credible and the most accurate scale of what there is. Yeah, information is power when it comes to plenty of things, and knowledge is power, also power in the sense that I can tell you of my Patreon. The link to Patreon is down in the description box down below. Please go check out what kind of perks I've got there for you, and there's also the shout out for my patron Flems. You are the best. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, and then Jens goes, and then back to the letter. Jens goes on to write that at Pride marches, I noticed the police providing security and guidance where visibility and guidance were visibly and the guidance were visibly proud to be on duty at those events. Uh, they knew they didn't have to expect any aggression from the LGBTQ plus community. However, the prides are only an anomaly for Joe Public, who perceives them as a loud party with some slogans on signs easily ignored or glossed over. Perhaps it's time to add a slower route to our book of tactics, being more visible in everyday life, being the friendly neighbors or colleagues who happens to be in the LGBTQ plus community. This is correct. Many people who they encounter queer people only a few times a year in some pride event or some interviews on television or newspapers that are maybe some perhaps a bit controversial, maybe, and that really sticks out to the average Joe for when it comes to LGBTQ plus people. Okay, so Joe Public doesn't care about some anonymous group that doesn't concern him, but he'd step up for his friendly neighbor, which is correct, and we can now a bit gloss back to what Jens told about his friendly neighbors, the gay couple in Frankfurt in 1967. So the friendly neighbor who always makes time for a chat, or for the friendly colleague who's always willing to help. Jens goes on to write that we're part of society, yet we were perceived as like we as in the LGBT plus Q plus community, yet we're perceived as a group of outsiders, easy to ignore. A constant positive pressure could gain us more support than the yearly Pride events. That is that's an interesting view of things, I think, because that is something that doesn't come across. This type of ideas don't come across every day, you know. So it's curious, very curious way of thinking things. Okay, and then Jens goes to write further. Take a look at how foreign workers went from anomaly through minority to part of everyday life. That took decades of perseverance, but I'm confident we can achieve at least the same level in a shorter time. For concluding thoughts here, first of all, this was an immensely interesting form of doing a video, and when the possibility arose, I took it. I had to take it, and making this film, or whatever if you want to call this film, off we go. I think it's a video. It's an interesting. It gave me food for thoughts for quite a while to go. And the Kinsey Institute, I recommend you go check the links in the description box. So, and I'll probably at some point maybe take a topic from dig deeper into the Kinsey scale and what and the stuff that goes with it, because it's so interesting. And this is something, this visibility, and what way would be the best way of presenting ourselves, making our rights, call for our basic human rights, make them known. What would be the best? I might do an essayistic video, who knows? But this is what I had for you this week. It's super, it was mega super interesting to make and to have a discussion with Jens, written discourse before making this video, and making sure I get things right, and so on. But this is how my videos sometimes turn out. Maybe in the future, more so than before. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. Please check the links down in the description box. There will be playlist links, season 1 to 3, history with Haiti, etc., etc. There will be links to my PayPal and Patreon. And once again, shout out to my patron, Flems. Very, very big thank you for you. Very kind of you to join my Patreon crew. I hope to see many others joining there as well. And now it's time to just tell you or show you goodbyes to my co-hosts, Stefan, and of course, Bertil. Only Moomin forefather co-host on the entire internet, but isn't he the best? Okay, I will see you on the next episode of my videos. Until then, bye bye, take care.